Good morning, everyone. All right, we're going to talk about something maybe we don't want to talk about, but you know the song Breaking Up is Hard to Do? Let's be honest, we've all been there or have at least supported a friend through one.
Heartbreak has many facets, including mental, emotional, and physical pain, and it all feels like just too much. So to give us some advice on what to do, we have our relationship expert, Kat Robey, joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Kat, I'm so glad that you're here. I know it's kind of a sad topic, but something that I think a lot of people need out there. And just in reading a lot of the literature that you provided for us, it's so interesting to see why we're having so many different feelings during this. And heartbreak, it's not just being sad, it's so much more. So
much more.
Why are we feeling all these things?
Yeah, well, first we have to start with what you had that's now lost, right? What you had was something that made you so happy and joyful and comforted. It gave you a rush of dopamine, gave you feel-good hormones. And so now that that's not there, you're looking for that over and over and over again, and that's what's keeping us connected to something that it's over. And so it's hard to grapple with that because physically we're still seeking that sensation. We're getting the stress hormones of cortisol pumping through us that's making us have all kinds of anxiety and not sleeping well and lack of appetite and all of these things where we really have to focus to stay okay. Take good care of yourself while you're in this situation so that you can heal. You really have to heal through this. You're having some huge physical, emotional, mental symptoms.
I love that we're being, as Heather said during the commercial break, is we were saying there is actual physical things that are happening to us. So we might think, oh, I'm just being dumb because I feel this way or that way. Your body really is reacting to what's going on. There's a chemical thing that's going on inside of us.
Absolutely.
So we need to acknowledge that.
We need to acknowledge that, but this is where when we start getting into what do you do, what you not do, this is why. Because that initial heartbreak feeling is real. You have a physical sensation, you have a pain, you have an anxiety, you might have nausea, you might have weight loss. All of these things that are going to be happening as you're needing to care for yourself. And each time you attempt to connect with the person, each time you sit and dwell on those memories or photo albums or wherever you go with it or looking at Facebook, you're ripping off that scab again and putting yourself through that process again. So it's important, and some people will say, what if I don't know if it's the end? Well, okay, just tread lightly because you're going to put yourself through a bit of a meat grinder to keep opening that door and opening that door and opening that door. It's like revisiting that sadness and grief process over and over again.
Well, even just sitting here talking about it, like I remember my last breakups, my palms start sweating and then, it comes back to you. So what's really important is we don't want to give ourselves those extra triggers because we're trying to heal. So what are some things we want to avoid?
So it's hard, it sounds harsh, I'll put it this way, but you really want to disconnect from that person. So the more that you are looking at their Facebook or even trying to stay friends, which of course we want to do, and I think that many people are able to do that, you can't do that until you're through that heartbreak and love loss disconnect. Does that make sense? Like you're not able to be a friend at that point. So it's best to just try to cut that off so that you're not getting those overwhelming feelings over and over again or making things mean certain things or looking back on your history. Don't go back and undo everything you had because it's over now. So make sure and really take a conscious effort to say, we had something great and it's over. Don't throw it all out because it doesn't have to be so black and white. Appreciate what you had together. But really limiting that contact is the key thing. Don't ask your friends about them,
So hard.
Just unplug a bit, because what we need to do is focus on you. Focus on being healthy. Focus on what interests you have. Nobody wants to say this, but if you're going to go back out into the dating world, the best thing you can do is be involved in things that are interesting and exciting for you, so that you don't fall into a connection where you're molding into someone else's life, and then maybe that's not a fit for whatever reason. Maybe that wasn't what ended the first relationship, but it's important to do and be around the things that you enjoy, and you will attract someone who will want to share that with you. Invest in yourself. Take care of your body. Like I'm saying, this is almost a prescription. Nobody wants to take a medicine or go to the doctor, but this is the kind of mentality we need to have. It needs to be forefront in your mind to make yourself unplug. Make yourself stop obsessing. You might fall into like a cycle of, I need to vent, I need to vent, I need to vent. Well, it's really not helping. It's keeping you boiling in that sadness, grief experience, keeping the cortisol going. It's not helping you. So if you need to vent, do it for 10 minutes. Put a timer on. Write about it. some way of getting your feelings out, but then close that book and do something that's exciting, or move your body, or connect with a friend. You know what gives you a good feel-good hormone is hugs, pets. They help you release oxytocin. That's the loving, hugging, kind of connecting, affectionate, goodness, way of seeking that thing that's going to still feel good, but it's going to be supportive. Go into nature, write, like I said, do anything that's going to help you be supported, not mired in what is or isn't happening any longer.
And I just, the whole reason we started this topic between us three is I was supporting a friend that was going through a breakup recently. And I think also within that breakup time is you kind of are getting out of a routine that you had with that person. You know, you woke up together, or you guys did lunch together, or whatever your routine was. And I think some people end up going back into a relationship maybe that should have been over, because that uncomfortable feeling of being out of that routine,
right.
You feel like I just need to be back in that routine.
Yes.
So the breakup has a lot of weird layers and facets to it that a lot of people end up getting back into a relationship for the wrong reasons because of that uncomfortable feeling you have right out of a breakup.
And that's a great thing to just be aware of. Anytime you have a layer of discomfort or kind of anxiety, it's so great to try to figure out what am I afraid of? What feels so off about this? What am I not addressing? So turn it around and find out what, maybe I need to give myself a little bit more of, a different routine or another kind of person in my life. To be able to kind of push toward that anxiety and instead of letting that fear or anxiety or uncomfortableness lead you through your life, because you'll end up in the same pattern.
Yeah.
And I want to mention too, friends of people that are going through this, it's not useful to take sides either and to bash one or the other.
Yep.
It's important to kind of try and support, hey, I'm here for you. I know what you had together, and let's not rehash all of this all the time.
We've all had those girlfriends that bash the man in this situation, because they think that's helpful, but it's not.
Right.
It's never helpful. But that's why we have you on, Kat. It's because you have so many things. Like I said, it was just happening in my life. I was trying to help somebody, so I know there's somebody else out there listening to this that you're helping. I'm going to tell them how they can get a hold of you, because you've got so much more knowledge that we need every day. So for more relationship advice, call Kat Robey at 906-3392 or go online to robeycounseling.com.